Hello, everyone, and welcome to Modernizing Old Hymns number 12. Last time we looked at subtle key changes that can occur in a hymn from a major key to another major key. As a review, I'm going to start here with an easy version of hymn number 18 in the Lutheran hymnal, Lord, we come before thee now. And you see I added a fourth chord right here. What's happening is the hymn is going off. It's normally in the key of G, but it's going off into the key of D for just one measure here. I'm going to use a three-finger pick on this first. And just a little reminder here, I put the D7th in parentheses here to go from a D and add a D chord and add a C note to it. You can quickly switch to the D7th there. That might make it easier for you. One tricky spot we've got here too is we've got an A chord and we need to add an F sharp to it. Now, something else you could try, it might be easier for you depending on which instrument you're playing, go D, A, D instead, but let me show you how to add that F. Okay, quickly again, you can go from a D chord, get the D note, and quickly to the D7th to get to the C note right there. To play the F sharp on the A chord, well, first of all, you play your A chord. That's 3 strings in a row at the 2nd fret, right? And if you can reach with your little finger there, 4th string, 4th fret, that's your F sharp. And then take it off to get to the A. If that stretches a little hard for you, you can try just putting one finger on the C sharp, 2nd string, 2nd fret, and then 4th string, 4th fret with your little finger. That's actually an A7th with the F sharp, and then quickly go to the A. Okay, I'll use a 3-finger pick here. Let's give it a try. Okay, I'll be pinching at the beginning of every measure and with every chord change except for the one D7th in parentheses here. Pinch with the B note there on the 2nd string. Add the A note with your index finger. D chord. I'm adding the F sharp with my little finger. Okay, to the G chord. Add the A note with your index finger. And then get that F sharp on the A chord. And back to D. Now I drew up a little chart for you. It's not important to have the notes that belong to all the chords memorized. I'm just trying to show you how subtle this can be. You may be thinking, oh, major and minor, I can tell the difference from that by ear, but it really can be pretty sneaky sometimes. I put a little keyboard up here, and the notes are going up the scale. The hymnal, this is in the key of G, and it throws in an E minor chord, like an E minor. Well, let's look at all these chords. We'll start with C, and we'll compare it with the A minor chord. The C chord has 3 notes in it, C, E, and G. The A minor chord has the notes A, C, and E in it. notice that two of the notes are the same. Okay? And now we're in the key of G. Hymn number 18 is in the key of G. And we'll compare that with the E minor chord. Again, we see two of the notes are the same, the G and the B. And a quick look at the D chord and the B minor chord. Two of the notes are the same again, D and F sharp. Look at the F chord and the D minor chord. These chords are very similar. The A and the F are the same. I put the key of A up here too. Okay, the A note and the C sharp note are shared by the A major chord and the F sharp minor chord. And because when I play a B in this hymn, it's possible to use the G chord, or I could play it on the E minor chord. Yeah, and it can be pretty sneaky in there. Another thing is look at the science of music here. It's not just the chords that are similar, but the keys have similarity as well. The key of C major has no sharps or flats in it. The key of E minor has no sharps or flats in it. The key of G has one sharp in it, F sharp, and the key of E minor has one sharp in it, the F sharp. And so it goes on, F sharp, C sharp, one flat in the key of F and D minor, both, and three sharps in these two keys as well. Okay, here I wrote a different chording for this hymn. Notice, again, the seventh chords are optional. I did make this one a little trickier to play. A little more of an advanced version here, going from a D to the A or A seventh and a D. But especially pay attention to this measure right here. I'm throwing in the E minor chord. And for those of you who have heard this hymn many times before, it'll probably sound more familiar to you. I think you'll find too that when you throw it, to help you play by ear, when you throw in a minor chord all of a sudden, it just kind of tugs at your heartstrings a little bit. That's what I listen for when I'm playing by ear. Okay, this time I'll be strumming up to the melody note. Add that A note with your index finger. Take it off. I'm going to add that F sharp with my little finger. Now to the E minor chord. Add that F sharp with your little finger. Take your index finger off to play the B. Add the C with your index finger. Okay, so I worked up a chart with the fifth chord on it for you. With these five chords, you can pretty much play, well, about 95% of the hymns in the Lutheran hymnal in a way that'll make them sound recognizable to people who have often heard them played on the organ before. It really works pretty good. Again, adding that A minor to the key of C and that E minor chord to the key of G, and so on. If you want to stop listening to this course here and just go with these five chords, I won't be offended. You just go right ahead. They really work pretty well. Well, you might want to catch the course on key changes too. Now, can it get more complicated than that? Oh yeah, the people who set the hymns in the Lutheran hymnal get very complicated sometimes. Now, here's the four chords I gave you last time, not in the parentheses. Well, today we're in the key of G. Let's look at There's G, D or D7th, C, and A or A7th if you go into that second key, the key of the second chord. Okay, and in parentheses behind them are their minor equivalents, the chords that have two notes the same. Does the hymnal actually add all 8 chords in one hymn? They might. This hymn, the way they've laid it out, does contain an E minor. It contains both a D and a D7th chord. It contains C and A minor, and the A or A7th as well. So here I chorded up the hymn differently again. Now it was like a rule for the people who set the hymns for the melodies. They tried not to use the same chord, 2 notes in a row. That's what I'm going to do here too, just to show you some of their tricks. Okay, of course the song is in the key of G. It starts at the G chord. A belongs to the D chord. G belongs to the G or the C chord. Rather than play the G chord twice in a row, this time I'm going to add an E minor chord here. All right, B does belong to both the G chord and the E minor chord. The hymnal does in fact play an E minor chord here. All right. Here I played a C chord on the C note. The hymnal actually uses the D7th here. I'm a little more old-fashioned, I guess. Here we go up the scale here. E on the C note, F sharp on the D note, G on the G chord. I changed key. I went to the second key here, 1 note earlier than before. This is what the hymnal does too on this particular note. Okay, play the A on the A chord. You'll hear that key change just 1 note sooner. Here I went with the E minor. D, F sharp belongs on the D. I'm playing the E here on the E minor. The hymnal actually plays the C here. Of course, it works. C. E belongs to the C chord. And then, just for the sake of changing chords again, I could play the E minor for both of these notes, but just sneakily change the chord there to a G. So let me run through this and we'll see how that sounds. Here I'm going to use the boom chick. I'm going to use an instrument with fewer strings. Again, for those of you who play instruments with fewer strings, there's a quieter version of what I just played. Play the melody note, and then follow it with 2 quick high strings. Okay, I think we're getting to the point now where you can see what the hymns in the Lutheran hymnal are really made of. Okay, they're not made to be that easy, intermediate perhaps. And when you're listening to a hymn in church, of course, listen to the words first. But if you're listening to a hymn in church, you may listen for some of the things we've talked about in these last couple of lessons. Do you hear a key change, a major key to another major key? Do you hear a minor chord in there somewhere? Is it actually going from not just to a minor chord, but is it actually going from a major key to a minor key? Yeah, they can do that too. In that last setting I had, by adding the A minor chord to that hymn, they were using a chord that belongs to the E minor scale as well. So think about those things, and next time we'll get a closer look at minor scales. Thank you for watching. Oh, I should say too, again, down below in the notes again, I put down a couple more hymns. Try to figure out the chords for yourself. I put down hymn 123 down here a second time. The hymnal does add one minor chord to that hymn. See if you can find where it is before you look at the answer. Okay, again, thank you for watching.